This is Abnormal Entertainment.
Ay. Fonsi. Tiwa. Oh, oh no, oh no. Oh. Hey. Go. Sí, sabes que ya llevo un rato mirándote. Tengo que bailar contigo hoy.
Hey everybody, this is Daniel Garza and welcome to another episode of Put Together. I want to start, as usual, thanking my producer, Mr. Kevin Moyers, for all his help. Thank you, sir. I want to invite everybody to check us out at abnormalentertainment.com, where you can find all the shows on the network, along with my archived shows, so go check that out. If you want to follow me, you can check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube. My handle is at Little Mexican, LILMESICAN, or the new page, my Little Mexican Productions page on Facebook, and the soon-to-come website, Little Mexican Productions. We are legit now, folks. We are finally on the map as Little Mexican Productions, soon with great projects. Go check out the website. There's really nothing on there, but go check it out anyway. I need the numbers. This week, I'm excited to have a guest. I think most of the folks that are listening, they know that I kind of I harass some of my guests, and I stalk others. I'm a little bit of a stalker, but Manu Z. Prado is here with me today. How you doing, sir?
I'm fine. It's a bit warm, but other than that, I'm
know.
very, very fine. Thank you.
I don't know what convinced me to come over to Burbank.
I actually don't know what convinced you. Actually, being in Laguna, that was. I mean,
I'm gonna be honest. What did it was the lunch thing.
There you go.
When you offered lunch, I was like,
I reeled him in.
Everybody who listens to me knows that if you offer food, I'll be there.
Perfect.
There's almost nothing I wouldn't do for a taco, so let's just put it that way.
There's a great taco place, but it opens at night, so sad. Anyways,
how are you doing?
Thank you for coming. I'm doing fine, thank you. Like I said, it's warm. That's a bad thing for me today, but other than that, I've been doing fine. I'm gonna go back to school, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, acting school. A year of associates in AFA, associates in fine arts or something like that. For acting. So
that's pretty cool.
I mean, you have to keep learning. You have to keep, working on the craft and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, and we talked recently that I'm taking some audition classes.
And those are always great because not only do they teach you how to perform, they teach you how to perform in front of people who are going to get you a job.
Right.
And that's vital.
So,
essential.
For anybody out there listening, whatever you do in life, just always keep learning.
Exactly.
Always keep learning.
Absolutely.
Well, I met you at a presentation down in Orange County. I don't know how. Did you get lost going somewhere else?
No.
And ended up in
No. I actually, I'm originally from Mexico City.
Okay.
And I moved here 4 years ago. And I lived in Laguna first.
Oh, did you?
For 2 years, yeah. And it's beautiful. I love it there. I'm moving back as soon as I can. But for now, we're living up here in Burbank. However, I heard about the foundation.
Yes.
The AIDS Foundation down there a while ago. And I started donating, just adding my little grain of salt, sand, whatever you want to call it. And then they invited me to this... one of these
Tuesdays.
Exactly, the Tuesdays, and I'd never come, and I was like, you know what, at least once. And I did, and I don't regret it. It was amazing, and I love the work they're doing, and I'm very happy to have met you and all those guys.
That's where we met.
Terrific.
So for those of you listening, if you were wondering what we're talking about, there is already an episode on the air that we aired called Prime Tuesdays. Go check it out. I'll repost it so we talk about it so you guys can listen. And that's where I met you. You're in a bunch of the video that I took. So,
Am I? Good.
Yes, and a lot of the pictures. And then I forgot your name. Before we start with your story, I forgot your name. And I'm like, what? So I went through the videos and found shots of you, and I blew them up so I could read your name tag.
The name tag.
And finally, I found it, and I was like, oh, okay.
Good.
And then I stalked you on Facebook, and here we are.
And here we are, exactly.
So for those of you that don't believe that I stalk people, I really do stalk
It's not stalking, it's investigative work.
Yes, because I'm a reporter here.
Exactly. It's just part of the job.
But let's get started with you. So tell us how you put it together.
Well, like I said, I'm from Mexico City. I started voice over acting there when I was 11 years old.
Wow.
I started with a couple of shows that air here on the WB, but over there on Cartoon Network. Pokemon, Dragon Ball, and all sorts of animation. Mostly Japanese anime. And it's been fun. It was an amazing way to discover that I love doing funny voices. And it's not just the funny voices, it's what you put behind it. The intention, the passion, the love. So, life takes you everywhere, and I started working on other stuff. And 4 years ago, like I said, I moved up here to actually, pursue an acting career, either in voiceover exclusively or more on stage and on screen. And I've managed it. I mean, some small things, but can't complain.
Right. Well, I think, because I know several friends who have made their transition from Mexico or another country
to here,
to the States. You were, because I'm listening to the shows that you were on. I heard your voice then because I watched these shows.
Probably if you watched them in Spanish, yeah.
So I knew you before I knew you,
yeah.
Basically.
Well, yeah.
I'm going to guess that you were well established in Mexico already. People knew you. People were.
At least, here's the thing about voiceover acting. Unlike here, the voiceover actors in Mexico are just voiceover actors in general. You don't go into TV or movies or stage or
right.
theater. We focus on the work pretty much exclusively. You don't see us anywhere else. You hear us in radio, in ads, in stuff like that, and in TV shows and movies. But you don't really identify as much as, I don't know, Brad Pitt voicing someone, or Robin Williams voicing the genie, or you name
right.
them. We know each other, within the small group, or it's bigger now, thank God, but within that group, we know each other. But outside, rarely anyone can tell, oh, I heard you, or oh, I know you, where have I, where do I know you from? Or like, probably from a movie. But you don't know. So, well established, I hope so. I wouldn't know, honestly.
Because these are pretty big shows.
Well,
just the two
yeah.
you mentioned. And people listening usually know my sister's still in Mexico, so I went to Mexico every summer. And then I was there for junior high and high school. So all my life, up until my adult years, I was going back and watching TV. But you're right. Once you're old enough, you've heard the voices, and you hear one show being dubbed, and then you hear another one. You're like, oh,
it's the same guy.
That's the same person. And then after a couple of years, you kind of go, okay,
oh, here he is again,
yeah,
or here she is again. Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's kind of like some American cartoons, like for instance, Archer and Bob's Burger. I don't want to burst anybody's bubble, but Archer and Bob are the same person, just to be honest.
And also not the comic book guy, the convenience store guy from Family Guy is H. John Benjamin.
Oh yeah. So
he has the same voice.
Just in case you didn't know, boop, there goes the bubble.
Sorry, there goes the bubble.
Sorry.
But yeah, like you said, you start recognizing or going like, hey, Lex Luthor has always been played by Clancy Brown in animation. Okay. He's also Mr. Krabs in SpongeBob.
Wow.
Which is hilarious because you can't tell. He's also one of the villains in Avatar: The Last Airbender. And stuff like that. He has a very deep, rich voice. But the way he can move it around and make it sound completely different every time it's pretty amazing. And learning to do that, because my voice is pretty low. And I can go very, very low. But bringing it higher and higher is what's difficult for me. And finding a way to do that, sounding younger or cartoonish-er or whatever, that's fun. And that's quite a challenge. But I love it.
Cool.
I do.
So once you came to the States,
yeah.
Does your resume come with you?
Well, the thing about the resume is I stopped voiceover acting altogether some 7-8 years ago.
Okay.
And the reruns, I'm there, but the newer seasons for those shows, I'm not there anymore. Right. It's not me. Not only because I stopped, but because my voice changed, of course. So I couldn't continue doing the same characters. Right. Some of the resume did carry on along with me. Sorry. Yeah. For example, I did work for Miyazaki, for some of the Miyazaki movies, like Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service, Howl's Moving Castle, and they were fun to work with. That is awesome work. However, yeah, I mean, I guess it's on the resume, but it's not something I trade on, if you like that word, so much, because I can't do the voice exactly like that anymore, or it's just not, it's a bit old. Right. You don't use it, but it's fine. And like I said, I haven't done much voiceover here. I've done more acting, like film, TV, stage.
Now, was there, because I know everybody's at a different level, but the language, was there any language barriers, or was there any issues with the
well, at home, my mom always speaks in English to me, because she spent quite a while in London when she was younger. So she has a very fun British, older British accent.
That's what you were making the British comment when we were texting this.
Exactly, there you go. Okay. So if I go the way I end up talking to her when we're talking on the phone or whatever, I'd always end up talking like this, which is slightly posh. And but no, I've never had a problem with English. I mean, of course, there are some words that I can't properly say, like world, for example. But no, not a barrier. Being honest, not a barrier. I went to bilingual school back in Mexico, so I think I have a very good level. I hope I do.
Yeah, definitely. So once you get here, I'm kind of picturing, because obviously I've never done the transition. All I've ever acted is here in the States, but when you make the transition and come to the States, how is that in the beginning for you?
Work-wise or in general?
Let's say general.
Let's say general first. Okay, cool. Well, when I first moved here, I moved in with a cousin. My dad's cousin, but my cousin in the end. Very nice family. And it was easy that way because I was still, at home.
Right.
I'm doing quotation fingers and you can't see them, but I'm doing that. Sorry. Yeah, so it was kind of home, Spanish, Mexican food. So it was pretty easy. It was a way to ease into a little buffer into this completely different society and way of doing and saying things even. After a while, moved out, got my apartment, went to college for a small radio program. It was fun. And you get to know Americans of all shapes and sizes. Mostly white because Laguna Beach. Yes. But fun people, amazing people. I still have great friends down there that I visit as much as I can. The transition itself for me wasn't that difficult. I adapt quickly to my surroundings. I guess there's a lot of I miss my family. There's a lot of and there'll always be that because they're not physically here. This is not my land. This is not my. It is my home, but it's not my. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's been good. It's been, like I said, it's been easy adapting, learning, and finding out wonderful stuff. For example, I was talking to a veteran the other day, friend, and I was telling him that I finally understand this whole veterans service going into the military, whichever branch, and I get it. I get it now. At first, I thought it was just overzealous, being overzealous about something, about it. And there's slight, maybe, a slight touch of that. But I get the honor and the privilege and the whole true desire, to serve your country and to be of some sort of help to it. I get it now. That's one of the things I've discovered, and I respect very much about this country that I now call home.
Right.
Yeah.
Was it because you didn't have that?
Not in Mexico. The military service is avoided at all costs.
Yeah, definitely.
At all costs. But there's no sense of honor about it. Not in Mexico. Not the way I've perceived it here. Not the way that it makes you feel I did something good and I am happy and now I will, I'm happy to have given back something to my country. We are very patriotic in Mexico. Of course we are. And we love our land and we love our country. Just that part of the military service is not that,
there, yeah.
Because
I do remember when I was in school in Mexico, I was part of the guard, part of the escolta.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a sergeant of the guard, and it was very.
It's meaningful.
It was the greatest thing ever
of course.
in the world. I mean, I was one of the most popular kids in school just because they saw me every Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
It was, but I was here in the States when I turned 18, so I didn't serve over there. But I wanted to serve here, and I wanted to go so bad. The only thing that scared me was my sexuality. I was afraid that I would be found out and I'd get kicked out. And I didn't want to put myself through that. Now I regret it. But anyway, that's another story.
That's another story.
You have to listen to my episode. So the transition. So I guess for you, having a mom who speaks English, being in a bilingual school, were you able to learn the slangs?
The slangs, the nuances, and the non-grammatical part of the language. Yeah. Also, I'm a fan of movies and TV since forever.
Well, you have
so
to be, right?
Kind of, it's part of the job.
Yeah.
So I watched a lot of American movies and TVs, and not only American, British. And that's it. No, French, etc. That's not the point. The point is, I adapted some of the slang, some of the body language, even, and then seeing it in action. Seeing it happen makes it even easier, makes it even more natural to me. There's this, I guess, self-consciousness that I'm maybe not using a word or an expression or a phrase properly.
Right.
But then I just go, is that right? Did I say that right? And if I did it, I'll be told. Right. And then just correct it, and that's it. I've always liked speaking English. In fact, even in Mexico, when I had trouble saying something, I just say it in English. It was faster, easier.
Yeah.
It just rolls off the tongue easier than anything else, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Yeah, it's so funny because there's very few people that I can relate that with, because I was born in Monterrey.
Mm-hmm. We
moved to Dallas when I was 3, so I learned to speak English and Spanish at the same time.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't understand that. I mean, you coming from an English mother, you learn both languages. People can tell me, "What's your primary language?" I'm like,
both. Yeah.
And they don't get it, and they're like, "Well, one has to be primary." I'm like,
no.
Because you learn them both.
Exactly.
By the time you're 5 or 6, you're translating things naturally, and it's
exactly.
right.
Exactly. Yeah. My brain, the way if you speak in English to me, I think in English. If you speak in Spanish, I think in Spanish. I'm not translating from English to Spanish or from Spanish to English, because that's when it gets confusing and a little difficult. But yeah, no, I get that. You learn both at the same time, and you operate on both at the same time. And it triggers, it simply just clicks, it changes, like, English book, Spanish book.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. You can start speaking Spanish right now, and I'll start speaking Spanish right now, and no problem. We'll have the entire interview in Spanish, and no one will understand.
All the listeners will be like, really? You gotta say
yeah,
really?
We can just transcribe it in English. No, but yeah, and I definitely think that, this is logical, but being bilingual is essential. Anywhere.
Right.
If you know English and whatever else you can, you're good. Because, like Elizabeth Hurley said in Bedazzled, everybody speaks English. They do, but it's also nice to speak in their own language to them. I'm not saying go out and learn, I don't know, Cantonese. Do if you want to, but it's nice. And it's good. It makes you, what's the word? I don't know. It makes you grow.
Yeah, and I learned this in college because I took sign language in college.
Oh, I want to take sign language.
And I picked it up pretty quickly. And then for about a year and a half after that, I had a roommate who's deaf. And so I spoke it every day for about a year and a half. So now I'm not as fluent as I used to be. But my teacher in college said, it's because you were born bilingual. And that he was the first one who understood that. It's like, you were born bilingual. I'm like, yes, exactly.
Thank you.
Yes. And people who already speak 2 languages from the little will be able to pick up more languages.
Other language, yeah.
So
Absolutely.
now I want to take Italian, and that's my next goal, Italian.
Italian is fun.
I want to take Italian, and because then I want to go to Italy, so that's the purpose of that.
So, yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about Latinos, or
In general?
Hispanics, and movies in the States?
You mean the depiction of, or what? Or the
Let's start with this, because I have my own opinion. And
no, please.
There is this big idea or movement that we need to see representation on screen of us.
Yes.
Being born to immigrant parents, I grew up watching Mexican movies all the time.
Yep.
All you see in Mexican movies is Mexicans.
Yes.
So I grew up and watching TV in Spanish. So I grew up, and I think there is representation on TV. You just have to change the channel.
Exactly.
Just
go to Univision or Telemundo, and that's it.
And there's a bunch of Mexicans and Latinos all over. But I think the argument is always about American television.
Mm-hmm.
But then I tell them, isn't Univision in the United States?
Yeah, I don't know who, but Telemundo belongs to NBC.
Yeah.
And I don't know who owns Univision, but
I
think it's Warner.
Yeah, and then they were associated with Telemundo for a while. I mean, yeah, Telemundo. But it's American television.
It is.
It's
produced here.
Thank you.
Directed here.
So,
written here.
If you don't see enough representation, change the channel.
Exactly.
If you don't see enough Asians on ABC, if you have cable, because I have them at home, and there's this really good soap opera, and I think it's Vietnamese or something.
Korean, probably.
That is so amazing. I don't know what the hell they're saying, but I know that one girl's having an affair with another guy.
Okay.
And the dad is...
So telenovela.
Yeah, the dad lost his job. I know that much. So my argument is, you're just not watching the right channel.
There is that. Of course there is that. I think the argument everyone else has, and I say everyone else and I'll explain later. The argument everyone else has is that the Mexican in the show or movie is the gardener, or the cholo, the gangbanger, the drug lord, you know?
Right.
The Asian is the geek. He has no discernible sexuality. He or she are not stupid, but socially awkward. They have to be super brainy, and that's all they are. That's their definition. The black guy is either a thug, or a hustler, or a drug dealer, or just lazy. Literally on the show, he'll be asleep the entire episode. And I'm talking about Preacher. Anyways, now, stereotypes. They exist because they are real. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
But they are.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Now, when you depict them poorly or negatively, that's bad.
Right.
I will stand against that forever, and prejudice. But the stereotype exists because it's real. Now, how to get away from that? Sadly, right now, it's hard, it's difficult, it's not impossible, but it's hard. Keep working at it. You are a 21-year-old Asian dude who's 6'2", looks like a Greek god, but Asian, and has the body of Adonis, and you want to model? Go model.
Right.
Find somewhere. You won't be hired immediately, and you probably won't be hired by the best agency at first. But if you can prove yourself, dude, if you are a Mexican who has a great talent for acting, a knack for it, I mean, look at Michael Peña. He does not look like the stereotypical hero.
Right.
The tall, blonde, forget blonde, tall, built, strong, sex. Not in my opinion. Someone might find him sexy, I don't. But he's a good actor. And he's working. Yeah, he's doing a lot of what we just mentioned, a lot of the supporting role stuff. But that's what he's going for, and he's doing great.
Right.
He's been in great movies. No representation, more like very little. And sometimes unfair. When I moved over here, my dad was like, but what are you going to be working as? Dad, I'll be the gardener. I'll be the gangbanger. I'll be the drug lord at first. Then I'll be the lead.
Yeah.
I love playing villains, so I don't mind playing villains.
Yeah.
They're fun. But then I'll be the lead. Then I'll be, the family guy. Then I'll be not the show. Not the show. I'll be the family man, the dad. I'll be the brother. I'll be the good friend. I'll be the etc. 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 etc.
Right.
Look at Diego Luna. I don't particularly like him.
Me either.
Good. But brother is now in the part of the Star Wars franchise.
Franchise.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's made it. He had it made long before.
Right.
But he's there.
It's pretty big.
It's pretty big. Exactly.
Yeah.
Carla Sosa, also Mexican. ABC's How to Get Away with Murder. She's one of the leads.
Yeah.
Granted, she's white, blue-eyed or green-eyed, I don't remember. Has great English because she's actually American. But so what? There's no representation? No, that's not true. It's just not the representation you're looking for. I read an article, speaking of Diego Luna, an article of a girl who brought her dad to watch Rogue One. And that was elated. He was delirious with happiness because he heard Diego Luna speak with his accent.
Right.
Which, by the way, is fake. That's not the way he sounds in English. But this man felt represented because someone sounded like him in Star Wars. He was happy. You know what? Good. Whether or not
him and Diego Luna.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's a fake accent, good for him. He touched that part of the unrepresented.
Right.
Right? And again, I insist, if it feels like you're not represented, go out there and make yourself known. Represent. Literally, represent. Because that's the only way.
Right.
That is the only way. And I mean, look at Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman. She is beautiful, stunning. She's actually a great actress.
Yeah.
She's apparently I don't know her. I will soon, I hope. She's a compassionate, kind, loving human being. And Wonder Woman, the movie, is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
A pretty decent hero movie, with superhero movie, with actual values and stuff behind it.
Correct.
Not just, and I love the Marvel movies, but they're just, hey, look at all the colors.
Right. I can't stand them, and that was the first one I liked.
I actually liked it. But, and still she got, why would you make a movie about dude, shut up.
Right.
You don't fine, you don't like it. You're entitled to not liking everything. But don't belittle or berate because it doesn't fit your standards.
Right. Because I did a couple years, in 13, I did a movie, Callejero, for all of you listening, which we had Ray Gallardo, the director, on the show, which is an all Hispanic, 90% of the cast is Hispanic or Latinos. I come in like halfway through the movie, and my character is an immigrant who is in a camp, being held in a camp, and I have to talk with an accent. So through the whole movie, I'm like, "Hola, callejero, welcome, you know, vaya ayuda in Mexico," but that's what got me the role, and it wasn't a bad character. He actually became friends with the main character and helped him through, and then I made it in the very last shot. I'm in the very last scene of the movie. I don't want to tell you what happened. You have to go rent it, buy it. But I was very proud of that because it wasn't. Yes, he was an immigrant, but he was an immigrant who was trying to better his life, and he had feelings and emotions and these layers, and not to mention that the writers did an amazing job with some of my monologues, because there's a couple of monologues through there. But I was like, that's pretty cool. I have played the gardener when I first got here, and I was a day laborer many times. Yeah. I've also been a rapist and a serial killer
and a bad hombre.
Yeah, and just in the last one, little student film that I did, I was a cook in the kitchen. I had one line, and all I said was, "Order's ready." That was my one line. And they didn't want it.
Oscar.
Yes. And I was like, then he goes to, they didn't want an accent. They're like, no, just say it like you. And I tried to, like, "Orale vatos," and they're like, no, just say "order ready." And I was like, well, that's not funny. And everybody laughed when I said it. And I was like, but that's not funny. Yeah. But I was so, and in driving home, I was like, I was happy that they didn't expect me to be stereotypical.
Yeah,
Said, just be you, just be you. And I was like, oh, well, who is? And there's something like, who am I? Like, wait a minute. But yes, I agree with what you're saying. I just think, and I'll close this up with this part. When I couldn't find a Hispanic host with an English show, with an American show, or an English show, not American, with an English show talking about just stuff, I was like, well, I can't find anybody that's doing that. So I started my own show.
Exactly. And so I'll do it. Period. Yeah.
And I'm almost at 170 episodes.
Perfect.
And
congratulations.
I had a Spanish show. I had Corazón en la Mano, which was the Spanish version of this show, but it didn't get as much support as this show does. And I pushed it in a lot of Latino and Hispanic
forums and
Facebook and pages and
blogs.
I would send it, and it just didn't get a response. And I got irritated. I'm like, well, here I am. Mind you, maybe I don't have the push that Cristina Saralecki had. I'm dating myself. But here I am as a Hispanic man, Latino, Mexican,
representing,
trying to push a Spanish show about topics that I think would interest people, and nobody was listening to it. And I'm like, well, personally, I said, was it la chingada? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah, no.
I'll go back and do what I can do best, and well, here I am talking to you. So, which is great. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather do something that people are going to listen to.
Absolutely. That is also something you enjoy and something you have a passion for, and that's all you need. Yeah. Just the drive to do it. And I get it. It's hard. It's frustrating, and it's disappointing, and it's sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
But when it's harder and most frustrating and most disappointing, I think that's when I pushed back, or when we all should push back even harder. This is just a little test. So if you go through that, if you make it, awesome. If you have 6 followers or 6,000 or 6 million, cool. If you have an Oscar, an Emmy, a Golden Globe, or none of the above, cool. As long as you're doing it because you want to do it, because you feel enough love and passion and commitment to it. The blog, the show, the acting, the accounting, the being a doctor. Feel it. If you don't, stop doing it, please. You're going to kill someone if you're a doctor.
Yeah, if you're a doctor and you don't have passion for it, don't continue.
Just give up. No. But being serious. You have the passion, go for it. You feel unrepresented, go represent yourself. Period.
exactly what I keep telling people. Like, if you don't see somebody that looks like you on TV, then you be that. And that's what's motivated me to keep going. Because even when we get the breakdowns online, and they're like,
I know those.
Whatever, Michael and blah and blah, and I'm like, I can be Michael. Click on that.
Yeah.
And there's been a couple times when I've auditioned, I walk in and there's like all these gringos, and I walk in and I'm like, and they look at me like, are you in the right place? And I'm like, yeah, I'm here for Michael. And they're like, oh.
Okay.
And early on, a couple of student films, I've auditioned and got it, and they were like, well, you're not where we wanted, but
you
nailed it.
You nailed it.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's right.
Okay. Oh God.
Where do you get your? Because it's a hard life. People really don't understand that acting in Hollywood. It's hard. Even sitting here across from each other, I'm thinking we could audition for the same things. We're very similar in looks and height, and we could be sitting in an audition room.
Next going against each other.
Yeah. And people don't realize, and I'll tell this quick story.
Yeah.
I was here in 2008 on vacation, but I decided to join LA Casting and start getting auditions. And I'm from Houston, and in Houston, when they made a call, it was the same 5 people. So we knew that one of us was going to get in. We were all friends, and after auditioning, we'd go out and eat. And then when somebody got the role, we knew one of the others.
We'll be happy.
Yeah, we would go celebrate that.
Yeah.
So I walked into my first audition, and it's for like a beer commercial. And they had us in parts, because they had the little chubby guy, they had the big blonde guy, they had the black guy, and then they had the Mexicans on the other side. And I walk in, and there's like 50 guys that look like me.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, uh-oh.
This is going to get difficult.
This is going to be tough. I didn't get that commercial, but I wasn't prepared for that type of competition.
Yeah.
It was a little heartbreaking for me, but I went back home to Houston before I moved to California.
Mm-hmm.
So I had time to go and heal my wounds. How has it been for you?
The not getting parts part.
And the auditioning part, yeah.
Well, first of all, I am not great at auditioning.
Okay.
Just saying that. Stating it out there. I've learned. I've had to. I guess the first time I was told no, or I didn't get the call back, the first time was like, oh, this is not, I'm going home. Call my mommy. Definitely. I definitely did. Yeah. No. 100%. I don't remember exactly how I reacted or what I did, but I must have gone somewhere down that line. But then, I remember this Coca-Cola truck that said, you've got the no. Go get the yes.
Wow.
And it's true. I mean, everyone is out there ready to say no to me. I'm just gonna go get the yes out of them. And like you said, I could be a Michael. Sure. I can be a Michael, a Gabriel, Rashid, if I tan enough, I suppose. No, but
Yeah.
They're probably gonna say no. Okay, fine. I'll still do it.
Right.
A friend of mine, great looking guy, whiter, also Mexican, but whiter skin, clear brown eyes, like very light brown eyes, pretty boy.
I hate him.
100%. No, he's adorable. He's an adorable person. He goes to very few auditions, lands even less parts, and he has the entire type. Athletic body. You name it.
Right.
He has it. Talent. Skies. I go to, let's put numbers. He goes to 10 auditions, I go to 25. I get 12 callbacks, he gets 2.
Wow.
I land, out of the 12 callbacks, I land 5. He may land 1.
Wow.
Why? Because I believe that I can do it. If I'm gonna play the genie in Aladdin for the actual musical, I'm gonna go all out. and sing my heart off like I've never done it before. Even if I've done it 3 or 50 times before.
Right.
Because this time is this time. The other 25, 6 million, or gajillion, they don't count anymore. They're in the past. Even if I landed those roles, those were those auditions. Those were those roles. So yeah, the first time, I must have wanted to kill something or someone. I won't deny that. The second, third, fourth, and the last time I was not rejected, but asked calmly to leave. Very politely. Well, I did my best.
Yeah.
They're not looking for me. Hope whoever gets it really is a good choice.
And I think you just said something really important, because a lot of people forget that. It could be that you are really great. It could be that, not just your mom, but everybody around you says, oh my God, you're so good. You know the lines. You
emote and you know and you have
pick your
it.
wardrobe just right. And you walk in, and you just may be not what they're looking for in the end.
For whatever reason.
Or after you audition, they decide, you know what, we're going to go with a woman.
Exactly, yeah. Or we're going to go with this other guy. Or
you just never know. It took me a long time to realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Just do your best. Just put it all on there. And don't, for me, it was don't wait until you're on set to give it your 100%.
No.
You gotta walk in with your 100% every time. Because the commercial that I just shot, I walked in. First of all, when I read it, and I can't talk about what the product is.
Yeah.
But when I read it, I'm like, oh, this is for me. This is mine. I'm gonna get it. And I even thought, even if I don't get the lead, I'm gonna be in that commercial.
I don't care.
Because I will. They're gonna want me. So I just walked in, and I was like, just have fun. And what made it more fun was the girl that I was reading with was very nervous. So me being more secure made her more uncomfortable. So now it felt like I was carrying her. I'm like, oh, that's got to look good on video for me. That's going to look awesome. And then the second girl that came in, she didn't have a reading partner. So they asked me to read with her. And I was like, perfect. This is a chance to do it totally different. Totally different. I'm going to give them something different. And then I got a call back. They were like,
perfect.
Oddly enough, when they called me back, they're like, we really loved you're so funny, and we love your voice. We want to hear that voice on set. I was like, orale.
Perfect.
Let's do this, man.
Yeah. Exactly. And then I don't know. I'm not modest. I'm extremely honest. And I find modesty not hypocritical, but I feel it that way. Because if you sell yourself short, you're going to come short.
Right.
When I was looking for an agent, in one of the interviews, one of them asked me, so why acting? Because I like the attention. And she goes, first honest answer I've ever heard in my life. I'm like, no. I mean, I love the craft. I love all the artsy, fun, good things. Good. I'm doing quotation figures again. But the entirely honest, true reason, I want my name on that.
Thank you.
I want my name on it. Not because, oh yeah, that's me, and I'll then just sit down and... No. Because, yeah, that's me. And the next one, that's me too. And that other one, that's me too. And this show, and that TV program, and that animation, and that video game. Why not? And I can. I know I can. If it takes me the rest of my life, fine. Alan Rickman started acting properly. He became famous at 39. I have 6 years. Ian McKellen didn't go super huge until he played Magneto in X-Men. He was already 70. He's a great actor, and he was gigantic in England. Mainly on theater and some small movies. 70. And he's working like every year. At least once a year I see a movie with him in it. So yeah, no, I'm aiming for that.
But when people ask me, it's like, why do you do podcasts? Because I like to talk. I love talking. I love meeting people.
I love my sound, the sound of my voice. No,
and honestly, it took me a long time to get to that point where I was like, oh wow, that sounded really good.
Yeah.
Or that was pretty cool. I watch everything I do on film. I watch everything. I heard some of these actors. No, I don't watch myself once it's over. No, hell no.
It drives me a little crazy, but I do it. Yeah.
I'll bring my friends over. I'm like, here, I just got this video from something I did 2 years ago. Sit down. I made popcorn. Vámonos, early. So we're gonna watch it. But there has to be a little bit of ego.
Of course. Of course.
Because I believe that makes me proud of my things. I'm very proud of this show. Like, it's done.
And you should be.
Almost 170 episodes on the air. Some really good guests. I'm being contacted by PR departments now wanting to bring me guests. I'm like, that's cool. It took 5 years, but nothing comes quick.
Exactly.
And I even fought through cancer to get to this point. So
there you go.
That's awesome. All right, so we're at the 45 second. Oh. Yeah, it goes quick when you're having fun.
Bam.
So tradition on my show is to send out some words of wisdom to the people listening. So put on your wisdom hat.
The main reason I joined or started helping the OC AIDS Foundation was because of a dear friend, close friend of mine, got diagnosed some years ago. He's fine now, but it still freaked everyone out, particularly me. And at first, when he got diagnosed, he said, "Well, I'm gonna live every day like it's my last." And I said to him, "No, because then it's gonna be the last. And whatever you didn't do that day is gonna haunt you the next day. So live your life, live every day of your life like it's the first one. There's always something new to do." And I've tried, and it works. I've done that. Live every day of your life like it's the first one. Because then even just walking out your door is a new thing. I always do that. Tripping in the stairs, new thing today. I tripped in the second step, not the first one. Stuff like that. Driving to work, coming back home, working. There's something new to learn. Sometimes you don't even notice it, but you learn something new. It's way better than thinking, "Oh, I didn't do all of this, and I'm gonna die tomorrow." Yeah, no. Shut up. Shut up. I get the depression and this terrifying feeling of, this is it. I get it. But a nurse once told me, if you start feeling that way, then you'll only get worse. So don't. That's it, I think. Just live your life like it's the first day every morning. You wake up, you say thank you to whatever you believe in, to yourself if you want to. Thank you for waking up. And get on with it.
One of the things that when I was diagnosed with AIDS back in 2000, it was a little harder for several years, but then I sobered up. So I've been clean and sober now 10 years.
Congratulations.
You heard that story.
I did, but congratulations again.
But one of the things that I promised myself after I sobered up is that I want to be surprised and amazed every day. So I do my best to accept invitations, to go somewhere new, even if it's a new restaurant, or stop at a new store and buy a soda instead of the same one that I always go to. And I think that's what motivated me to do this show, is that every episode, or just about every episode, has a new guest, and I get to learn something new.
Yeah.
Many times I've been asked for a questionnaire or questions beforehand, and I'm like, there aren't. My only question is, how do you put it together?
Yeah.
Because I want to be amazed along with my guests, with my listeners. I want to be amazed and surprised by the stories. If I know beforehand, it's not surprising anymore. I already know. So every time I do a show, I'm amazed and surprised by my guests, and that was beautiful. Thank you.
Oh.
You almost made me cry.
Yeah, I saw that.
And now I don't know what I'm going to say next for the next 10 minutes.
Well,
Now I'm going to order 2 tacos for lunch instead.
yes.
That's really awesome.
I mean,
Keep talking because I don't know
yeah,
what to say.
it's not. I don't know if it's awesome. I just think it's a. I always go for the easy. Being honest, like I said, I'm honest to a fault sometimes. So I'll go for the easy, and it's easier to go through life thinking happy thoughts than going through life thinking not so happy thoughts. Because the not so happy thoughts become depression. And depression is horrible. I've been depressed. Like bad. Obviously you have. Obviously everyone in the world at least once has had a very bad day that will plunge you down a little rabbit hole. It's getting out of the rabbit hole. That's the difficult part. That's the part I don't want to do again. So I try to stay on top of it. Sometimes I'm looking into it and I'm like, ah! You can't help that. It happens. But if you keep in mind that, okay, this day sucked. Because let's say it. Someone bumped my car and it has a dent now and it's horrible. And someone, I don't know, I got to the office and there was no more coffee. Or even something worse than that. I got diagnosed with something. My family member, loved one, got diagnosed with something. I'm not talking only about AIDS. I'm talking about cancer. I'm talking about diabetes. I'm talking about any of the many wonderful things this world plagues us with. Alright, so I guess now I have to learn how to inject someone with insulin. I learned that. I learned that I can, speaking of diabetes, that I can be overprotective. But I don't have to be because they know what they're doing. They've lived with it. They've lived their story. They have their own path that they have walked down and still are walking down it. And it has made them stronger, etc. Or not. The people I've met, stronger. Happily enough. So all I have to do is learn from them. And if in any case he starts shaking because low sugar, here's a banana, shut up. Keep watching. We're watching a movie, I'm not going to leave this theater. That was $14. No, never bananas. Always M&Ms. They're very good for diabetes.
Yes.
But yeah, just live and let live. It's not that easy. But once you learn how to do it, it gets easier. So just do that. Just do that. There's so much to do and learn and you'll beep this later. Fuck over. That you just should. You just definitely should. Go out and make a mistake. If it's not killing anyone, particularly you, fine, it was just a mistake.
What's your biggest motivator to just
To just
keep
do?
going?
To just keep going?
Just do it.
I'd love to say my family. I'd love to say my boyfriend. I don't have one. I'd love to say my friends. But I'm going to say me. Not because I have to prove myself to anyone. Or even myself. I don't have to prove anything. I know who I am. But I just like showing myself that, yeah, that thing that you didn't want to do yesterday, yeah, you're doing it today. Yesterday I went to the gym. I need to go back because, oh God, it's been 2 weeks. But I was like, I will. And I did.
Okay.
And it's the same gym. It's the same route. It's the same everything. It's the same trainer. And I love her, by the way. But it was new. Quotation fingers.
We're gonna have to take a video.
Sorry, yeah, of me doing the thing.
So that, yeah, that'll be
Anyway.
a meme somewhere.
Anyway, that's what motivates me. Me. Being there for me. Doing anything for me. Am I gonna eat a whole bucket of ice cream? Yes.
Awesome.
For me. If I get fat, fine, I'll get fat. I'm not gonna eat a whole bucket of ice cream today. I'm gonna eat a can of Pringles. I don't like them. But, okay. Whatever you're doing, you're gonna go to work. You're gonna go get married. You're gonna go get a divorce. You're gonna go do it for you. This reminded me, a friend of mine, we were talking about coming out and all those stories. I told him the first person, the only person actually you have to tell these big news to is you. You don't have to tell anyone else. Everyone else, we're just there for the ride. We're just there to enjoy your movie. But you are the star.
Right.
If you don't want to tell anyone, don't. It's nobody's business what you do or don't. So don't live a miserable life thinking or trying to make everyone else think you're not something you are. Go, do your thing, tell it to yourself, and then you'll figure it out if you want to tell everyone else. Same thing for everything. You share what you want and what you can. You don't have to overshare. But if it's your thing, please, I'm all ears. I'm a great listener. Also a great talker. I haven't stopped.
Well, it is a show.
It is a show about talking. Yeah, so...
Let me just say, this is one of the most interesting shows that I've had. And I think it mostly because a lot of you say, I'm like, oh my God, I've been thinking that. So I think that's what it is. So for all the guests that are coming on my show, you have to just agree with everything I say. And then you'll be top 5.
Just do it. No, but
But I've said that to several people in my spiritual work when I do readings for people and we're doing their spiritual life coaching exercises. I'm like, it's about you. If you're not happy, you can't make anybody else happy. If you don't set the tone for how you want to be respected, no one's going to respect you. And in the words of RuPaul, if you can't love yourself. But you're so right, and I'm so glad you said it because it feels like I'm gonna get emotional, but it's one of those things. Like I said earlier, like every conversation that I have with somebody is a surprise, and I love that. When I was outed when I was 17 by somebody, and my family found out that I was gay, and it was very cliche. We were in Mexico for Thanksgiving, and everybody found out, and it was just horrible. But after that, I promised myself that I would never be ashamed of being gay, and I would never be ashamed of anything that I did. If I did it, it's because I made a choice, and I had to stand by it. Wrong or right, I had to stand by it and just work through the consequences. So when I was diagnosed with AIDS, I told everybody. I was like, I didn't want people talking behind my back. Like, this is what's going on. My family was kind of like, I'm like, no, this is my thing. If it bugs you, then don't hang out with me. Period.
Yep.
When I went to rehab, the whole anonymity thing, I was like, fuck that. I'm telling people, I'm clean and sober. And I'm busting my ass to stay clean. Of course. And now that I've been clean and sober 10 years, I'm like, I'm proud of it.
And you should be.
It's a long time.
Yep.
And cancer, I was very open about it. And most of all because it was anal cancer. People were like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, it's anal cancer. It's a pain in the butt. But
literally.
It's behind me now, so it's all good.
Literally, too.
Yes. And then the ostomy. A lot of people don't even know that I have a colostomy, but it's because I cover it well. It's the whole, I don't want people to see that and then just notice it. And a lot of people don't even know that it's there, but because I just don't want it to be, I don't want it to represent me. I want Daniel Garza to walk in first, and then all the illnesses, because there's a lot of illnesses walking in.
Yeah.
But I want people to see me first and go, wow, look at everything you do. And then when they hear everything that's gone into my life, then I know a lot of people are more amazed. They're like, oh my God, like, how are you here? Duct tape. Trust me, people, all this is being put with duct tape. But I get what you're saying.
And saran wrap.
Yes. I want my family to be proud. I want my boyfriend to be happy. I want people around me to be comfortable. But I do this for me first.
Yeah.
Because when it is my last day, I want to make sure that as I'm breathing that last breath, I'm like, fuck yeah.
I did it.
I did everything I wanted to do. Some succeeded, some I didn't. I sucked at some of it. But I tried and I did my best. There's
something else I came up with. There's no, in my opinion, there's no right or wrong. There's just the consequences.
Yeah.
I mean, there are clear rights and wrongs, obviously, no, but mostly wrongs. But what you do, what the choices you make, they're not essentially right or wrong. They'll have a consequence. Focus more on the consequence instead of dealing with the issue for days on end. So if I do this, this will happen. Okay, maybe I don't do it. Or if I do this, this will happen. Okay, then I'll do it. Always thinking of you and your family and your friends and your loved ones and because they're part of you. But they're not you. You are the first one. Or at least try to be. Selfish though it sounds.
I think that's a pretty good spot. We're down to the hour of the show. Yeah, so this has been, thank you.
No,
this has
thank
been
you.
Such an awesome conversation.
I've had a great time. I didn't even notice the hour.
I thought people don't, so that just means you have to come back and do another episode.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's still so much more that I wanted to talk about, but we'll get there. Thank you, Manu, for being on the show. It's just awesome. It's just awesome to talk to somebody that is on that same wavelength and gets it. Like, oh my God, gets it.
I'm just happy to be here, literally. Especially because it's my apartment, so I didn't have to leave.
I feel like I'm being kicked out now. So,
no, not at all. Literally not at all.
So for everybody listening, we have been talking to voiceover actor, Manu Z. Prado. Thank you so much for being on the show.
I waved.
He will be back.
I will.
On the show. We'll
for sure. Back. No argument there. You'll have to keep me away.
Yeah, it was such a pleasure. But next time you have to come to Laguna to do it.
Yeah, no, I'll do it. Absolutely.
It's too hot in Burbank.
It is. It definitely is. It's hell. Quote me on that. It's hell.
So for everybody listening, go to my page. I'll post his pages, his information, where you can get a hold of him. If you love the voice that you heard,
hire me.
Hire him. Yes, he's available. My mind just went somewhere else totally.
I think mine too. Anyways.
So I want to thank y'all. I want to thank my producer, Mr. Kevin Moyers. Thank you, sir. Please follow us on abnormalentertainment.com. Go check it out. Check out all my pages on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Little Mexican, LILMESICAN. Check out my webpage at Little Mexican Productions or my Facebook page, Little Mexican Productions, where you can find all kinds of information about my guests, my shows.
I love the handle,
and everything
Little
I'm
Mexican.
doing. People will remember Little Mexican.
Definitely. No, that's a fact.
So go check that out. But for now, I want to thank Manu for being on the show. I want to thank you guys for listening. And for Abnormal Entertainment and Little Mexican Productions, this is Daniel Garza saying, hey, put it together. Pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito, lo vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Esa mi boca, tus lugares favoritos. Favorito, pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito, lo vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Hasta provocar tus gritos, y que olvides tu apellido. Despacito.
Subscribe to Put It Together on iTunes, Stitcher, and at abnormalentertainment.com/putittogether. Find Put It Together on Facebook and tweet Daniel at Lil Messican, LILMESICAN. And for more podcasts, comics, books, movies, and more, head to abnormalentertainment.com.
You've been listening to the Abnormal Entertainment Network.